Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Practically a Podcast. On today's episode, we go around asking people, what do you think happens when we die? There are a lot of great answers. There's a lot of silly answers. We have a couple longer conversations that were really cool. We had one guy, talk about his passion for like music and stuff, and we had another guy who was new to VRChat, who, was, we kind of got into a deeper talk about, like, why people are the way they are in VRChat and stuff like that. And then we have another guy who, changed his life, packed up, moved across the country, and, seems like he's doing pretty well. And, he, made a friend along the way, so we'll get into those. And then, of course, the smaller conversations in between, and it's pretty good. Make sure you check out all my socials. I'm at YouTube at Jacophobia Guy, Instagram at Jacophobia. My TikTok right now is Practically a Podcast. My Twitch right now is Practically a Podcast, but I still plan on changing those, so if you're listening to this at a later date, search up Jakephobia or Jakephobia Guy on Twitch or TikTok. But I also have because I do this in VRChat, I have a VRChat group. So if you're on VRChat, make sure to look up Practically a Podcast and join the group, because I would love to make it so that I can have like group instances for people to join. So it's specifically people who are here to like talk on the podcast and stuff, rather than just finding random people. I mean, these are still random people, but like going out and finding random people that, on a whim will join me. But for now, that's fine. But if we can get to a point where like there's enough people in a group that are willing, to come and be on the podcast, that would be amazing. So, make sure if you're on VRChat, join the Practically Podcast group. So, thank you guys. The best way you can support the podcast is just by getting it out there, Preferably on VRChat. I don't, however you may go about it. If you got a buddy who might be interested in the podcast, who's looking for more podcasts, let them know. Let them know that this is here. So, yeah, that's the best way, spread the word. But anyways, I'll shut my trap for now, and you guys can get in. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the show. All right, you guys know the drill. No time to talk. If you are listening and you don't know what No Time to Talk is, it's pretty much it's a world in VRChat where it's a lot like Omegle, in the sense that you meet people for like 30 seconds or a minute, and then you can push a button to extend more time to talk to this person, but overall you only get like 2 or 3 minutes, I think, to like talk to someone. And the reason I go here to No Time to Talk is because you kind of get a good summary of someone, and then you can decide from there if you want to like hop them into another world. I think the question I was, I've been dabbling in like what's my next question I want to ask people. I think I'm going to just ask a very existential question, which I know might be a touchy subject for some, but it's where do we go when we die? So I'm going to start asking people that. Where do we go when we die? Hello.
So, what's up, bitch?
Nothing much, man.
You like it?
What?
Do you like it?
Do I like what?
Did you hear what I called you at the beginning?
Oh, you call me a bitch, but you know that doesn't really faze me. You know, I don't really care.
No, so you didn't like it, or liked it?
I was pretty neutral. You know, it was like, oh,
okay.
alright.
Okay. Can I make you bitch so you like it?
No. Then I wouldn't like it. Yeah. Then I wouldn't really like it. Cause I don't want to be. I don't mind being called bitch. I don't want to be someone's bitch. You know, there's a difference. Knox? What if someone came up and called you a bitch? How would you feel?
Here in VRChat?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I would laugh. Mostly it's funny.
Yeah, that'd be
because
funny.
I don't take things personal here, anyways.
Fuck yeah, bitch. That's what I like to hear.
Okay. That's funny though. What's your bitch, man? Come on.
You want to press this button?
Which button?
The one over there for more time?
Oh, does it do that?
Yeah, right here. Quick.
I didn't know.
There's a button right here.
Where?
On the side.
How do you click it? How do you click it?
Oh, poor guy.
What the fuck? Hello? Hi. Hey,
Hello.
Jake phobia. Are you afraid of Jakes? Is that what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you afraid of Jakes? What did Jake do to you? Did he bully you when you were young?
Yeah, there's a Jake. You know, and he kept bullying me throughout
Shit.
school, and every Jake I meet, I get scared of.
Kind of fucking like
But
chat type, you know?
there's a deeper meaning because I was the one bullying myself.
Because you're
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
Shit, that's a twist.
Yeah.
So you're like scared of yourself, your true self. When you look in the mirror, you see you, but you also see Jake.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Damn. It's pretty good, actually. That would be a good book or a movie. Not gonna lie.
That's gotta be an actual like phobia, is like just being scared of yourself.
Is it? This is the first time I hear this, and I am old. I hear a lot.
How old are you?
41.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 3 with a free, not 4.
Oh, 31.
People misunderstand me.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
exactly, that's what I mean.
you got some youth in you. You're good.
Yeah, but you know, compared to the average VRChat goer, it's like challenge to.
How do I say your name?
Maybe.
How do I say your name? Lori. How do I?
Lori.
Lori, you want to press this button, man?
Yeah, hold on. I was rolling a cig.
You gotta be quick.
Shit.
You got like 4 seconds. All right, word.
I got this, man. Look, I'm old, but I'm quick. Time to light it up.
Lori.
So what's up, Jake?
Lori, I want to.
You got the
let,
full
I
body.
want to let you know this. I do a little podcast where I like talk to people about life and stuff. Do you want to be on that podcast?
Yeah, sure. This is like the second time ever someone did this exactly to No Time to Talk.
So someone else has approached you saying they do a podcast?
Not a podcast, a video or something.
Oh,
I have no
okay.
idea what happened to the video. Well, sure, go on.
Well, usually what I do is I invite them to a world, you know, to have a longer discussion. Is that fine?
Oh, you want to do that with me?
Yeah. Is that okay?
Like, what? I mean, yeah. But why me? There's like a shit ton of people here.
We are many people with all walks of life, man, you know? And I want to learn.
Sure.
I
You
wanna
found
know
an
your
old guy
path.
and you said, oh, I want to... Yeah, I get it. Sure. You want to do it now?
Yeah. Here, let me get a world popped up, and I'll invite you. You know, join me over here really quick?
Yeah, sure. Is this live?
No, I'm just recording.
Yeah, that's good. So I can swear.
Oh, even if I was live, you could fucking swear, man. It's all good.
Oh, shit, yeah, okay. Let me get confident, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a beautiful world, dude.
It is. I want to like switch it up, every episode. Go to a different pretty
Been doing
area.
this for a while.
Actually, no, I just started. I started like a week and a half ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. Nice. Good
All
luck
right,
to it.
Yeah. All right, the question I have for you to start off, and you don't have to answer this. You don't have to answer anything I ask you. But the question I have for you is, what do you think happens after we die?
Oh, personal belief, right?
Yeah.
I think there's just a big void after we die. No heaven, no reincarnation. Well, to be fair, the difference between reincarnation and a big void is nothing. Because you still lose yourself,
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I was saying this on the other episode, and that was, I like to think about what happens, like, before we're born, and, like, what that is. I think, like, whatever our consciousness, whatever makes us us, stays with us, and then what our soul or whatever it is kind of goes on into whatever else,
You are a sort of believer of reincarnation or like universal energy that doesn't.
Yeah, I'm at the bare minimum. I am a believer that there's energy beyond what we can see. I think. But yeah, that's as deep as I get with it.
To be fair,
as deep as I go.
We are humans, so if we're talking about this kind of discussion, I think it's literally impossible for any of us to know, because there is a certain threshold that you have to cross before you truly know. So you have to be dead to know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But if you're dead, you can't bring it back,
Right.
It's like a one-way path. So
yeah.
It's up to anyone's guess what's gonna happen.
Do you have any plans that you want to do before you die? Any big plans, like a bucket list?
I do. It's a bit tricky. Like, I had a sort of bucket list, not a big one. One of them, it seems like all of my bucket list ideas just fuck off. I had one of my ideas to go to a live concert to Daft Punk, if you heard them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that big plan. Maybe they did a concert in 2007. Maybe they're gonna do it again in 2017. Shortly after 2017, they fucking separated. So that's a no.
Yeah.
So far, I think maybe two things. I want to go to Vienna and go to Mozart's grave, and I want to visit Japan and eat as much as I can. Pretty much it.
Japan's pretty rad. I want to go to Japan too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry if I misheard you. Did you say you wanted to go to Vietnam?
Vienna for Mozart's grave. Yeah.
Because that was for a second. I was like,
yeah.
Is Mozart's grave in Vietnam?
I imagine it.
Vienna. Okay.
They exported his body. Yeah, presumably that's where he was buried, because when Mozart died, he was buried in a common grave. So it's incredibly difficult to be able to tell which of the dead bodies is actually Mozart. So it was a kind of a whole mess. But at the very least, there's like a grave dedicated to Mozart there, even if his body is not there.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of inspiration with Mozart?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I consider him one of, like, at least top 3 musicians ever. The kind of genius he had in music he created from a young age, and he died at a very young age, at like 30 or something, and he created so much beauty, and so much passion that it lasted for hundreds of years, and it's going to last
And
for
it still
thousands
lasts.
or more. Yeah.
I think Daft
It's not
Punk is
gonna
going to
go.
go in a similar path. 400 years, we're still going to be listening to Daft Punk.
That would be amazing. Honestly, I tend to, for real, put Mozart like way up on a pedestal.
I know, yeah.
I cannot.
I'm just
you know,
joking.
But no, I mean, honestly,
half
it
joking.
could be because they could be actually because they are one of the how do you call it? Like the parents of EDM, of technological music. So if it keeps going on, they're never gonna die. They're
It's
gonna
true.
remain in our memories and the music as well.
Yeah, and it's
What
one of
about
the,
you?
and it's
I wanna
it's
ask
one
you.
of those things that's like, when there's any sort of like new genre, with like Daft Punk, they are like the granddaddy to EDM, so they are naturally a huge inspiration to people. So yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree
yeah,
with
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like
Do
with the
you,
Beatles, Pink Floyd
yes,
as well.
yes.
Major inspirations for still music we hear today.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
if you want to talk about the granddaddy of all music, you gotta talk about Bach.
Yeah.
He created all of the ways we create music. Like
Yeah, he was
the
one of the guys that was
solfege.
big. He was. Would you say Bach is considered modern music in the grand scheme of humanity? Like from when we started making music to now.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah.
from the moment Bach existed and started to do whatever he did, the same kind of influence is still lived throughout today.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he created so much musical theory and solfege, sol, la, si, do, and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Or in American is C, G, E, F, G, something like that. The notes itself. I'm pretty sure Bach, at the very least, had a big hand in it. So
Yeah.
we are still listening to Bach. But what about you? Can I ask questions?
Sure.
What about you? What's your favorite artist ever? Do you have one or?
Like music, like musically.
Yeah.
Oh man. When people
difficult.
ask me like what my favorite music is and stuff, like I have so many, but if I could only listen to one thing and one band for the rest of my life, it'd have to be Gorillaz.
Oh, yeah. I
Like
can appreciate that.
yeah. I
they-
always listen to them all the time.
I adore this kind of artists that just always bring something new and create something new.
Yeah.
Like Gorillaz as well. They mix so many types of music into their own craft. Like with Kendrick Lamar, maybe he mixes like jazz with rock, with punk, with whatever.
Yeah.
He mixes whatever
And
he wants.
I love
Same
that
with
kind of stuff.
Gorillaz. Yeah.
You seem
Just
very
like-
very big into all kinds of music. Do you like do any of do you like play any instruments, or do you just like a lot about the music scene in and of itself?
Playing is a bit much, but I started violin as an adult. I just had an affinity with music since I was in high school, and I think I listened to Pink Floyd for the first time, and it just made me, it was something like I stood up so much, and then when I listened to Pink Floyd, I started to fly, I just like,
I like that.
fuck.
Yeah.
It's like just such a trip, and then I'm very pretentious when it comes to music, not gonna lie, like I'm not that knowledgeable. I don't listen to much music, but some pieces hit me so hard. I have a favorite piece of music ever. It's Marche Funèbre, which is like the march when someone gets buried. Tam tam taram tam taram taram
Yeah.
taram. And I first listened to that, but the whole thing, because there's more parts to it,
Yeah.
and I've never felt more pure emotion than that song. that I said the day I first listened to it that I will never listen to it anymore because I don't want ever to get bored of it.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe I'll put it to my bucket list. The day I die, or previously, I'll listen to it again.
I like that. I am in the same boat of like, it's amazing how much music can like move you. You know, I grew up family who loves music. Like I've been surrounded by the love for music my whole life, and I feel the same way. Like it's you can there's a difference between just hearing the music and like feeling it. And also, speaking of music, that's my dad calling me in the middle of a podcast.
It's okay, go ahead. I hear the Star Wars.
I'm gonna leave that part in.
Yeah, fuck it.
It's alright, my dad can
No,
wait.
I prefer what's it called? Is it the same? Maybe I'm too drunk. Let me think. Hold on. It's gonna take a while.
Take your time.
Duel of Fates. I prefer Duel of Fates than the March something. What's it called?
Imperial March, I think.
Yeah. The Duel of Fates for me is like, you know, maybe there's a difference. To me, I grew up with the preludes than the original ones. No, so there's a difference. But the Duel of Fates, oh, so much emotion. Speaking of music.
Yeah.
When they start Korra, Matana, you know, exactly. Oh, Korra,
Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly, and then fucking Darth Maul and everything like, oh, it's such beauty.
You like a lot of orchestral music.
Yeah.
Have you been to an orchestra?
To listen, not play.
Of course, yeah.
I don't belong. Yeah, not as much as I would like to. But yeah, it's a beautiful experience. I would recommend to anyone at least once.
Yeah.
The very least, like, you can listen before something you would enjoy. You know, like maybe someone likes Beethoven more, so they should go to listen to some Beethoven orchestra in real life, because it differs a lot, and you could realistically easily fall asleep to an orchestra.
I had a music teacher in high school, and he was telling me that a lot of people get mistaken that if somebody falls asleep during an orchestra or something similar to that, people think it's insulting. But to a composer or to an artist, it's like technically like flattering, because they were so swayed by the music, it was able to calm them down and fall asleep.
It makes sense.
And
I'll do the same probably if I make.
He told me that like art, you know, if the most insulting thing you can do with art is just give no reaction. But as long as you get a reaction, whether it's good, bad, neutral, something, then your art, whatever you've done, has gotten to someone. And I really like that. You know, that opened my mind to that for sure.
That's really beautiful. I like it.
Yeah.
It's better to hate something than be neutral to it. In the terms of art, of course, not people and stuff.
Yeah, because you still get a reaction. You're still getting something. You're still, whatever you've made has gotten to someone enough, you know, to get a feeling.
There's even like certain artists that crave that hate, you know. Makes me feel more like, I don't even know the genre itself. Like a more hardcore metal, you know. Metal
like hard
by
style.
itself.
You know.
Yeah. Like they wanna enrage people. They wanna get the worst out of them, almost, like not in a particular bad way, but maybe more of a natural way. You know?
Yeah.
People are cruel. Kids are crueler. Why not bring it out, you know?
Yeah. For
But
sure.
I like it. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
All art is meant to create a reaction.
Art is meant
If
to
it fails
feel.
to create a reaction, yeah, no
I
logic
like that.
needed, really.
Well, Lori, thank you for chatting with me, man. I really appreciate
No
that.
problem. Thank you for having me here.
Is there anything else
It's
you
been
want
nice.
to say before we depart?
Oh, to anyone listening, just enjoy your life, man. Like, it's gonna be shit, it's gonna be nice, whatever it is. Just go with the flow.
Fuck yeah.
Like when you're going surfing, well, ride the wave and see where it goes.
Fuck yeah. I like that. Sweet. Well, thank you, Laura. You have yourself a good one.
Have yourself a good one as well.
And cut!
And cut! Nice! You got the same way.
I'm getting that part in.
yeah, let's go. Oh, dude, that's perfect.
Whoa.
Hello.
Is that Titanfall?
It is. Yeah.
That's one dead game you got. I can't lie.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm waiting for. I think we're all waiting for Titanfall 3. You know, and it might never happen.
You've
But
How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 24. How old are you?
Oh, good. I'm 23, but actually 25, but
Oh, word.
I don't know what to say. 23 or 25. It's something in between, I guess. The point is, you're never gonna see it. You're gonna be at
I know.
least 80 when they think about it.
I know.
But
Zeph,
you know,
I have a question for
maybe-
you. Zeph_1.
you can go right ahead.
What do you think happens?
That's me.
What do you think happens when we die?
Well, someone's gonna use your body.
That's true.
To satisfy their own lusts.
Whether you're an organ donor or
I'm
not.
saying I would. I don't know.
Are you gonna use my body when I
Just for-
die?
I might if I can. Now for science, of course, I might keep some parts for myself, but the rest of it I'm gonna sell on the black market. I'm keeping the asshole. No reason. I'm just gonna do it.
You could probably make a
No reason at all.
pretty penny on the black market. You know, when you sell body parts and stuff. You wanna press that
But
button, man?
you sound very white.
I
I'm not
am.
sure if
You
I
wanna
can
press
sell
that
in the
button?
Black market. How do you press the button?
Sweet, you got it
Yeah.
just in time.
Because white parts are more expensive than black ones for some reason. I'm not even making this shit up. No,
Oh, you're being serious. How do you know that?
That's the cheapest.
How do you know all this?
That's not the question. That's not the question I was looking for. So Asian,
Okay, what
like,
was
there's
the
a lot of
question you were
them,
looking
right?
for?
Something more productive.
Don't know something what?
More productive. Something like, can I help you in your business? How about we set a business partnership? How can we expand this business?
How can
to
we
other
expand the
countries without
business?
getting suspicion?
How can we expand the business for selling dead people's body parts?
Yes, that's a good question. So first off, we need some carrier, right? We need some ice. Now, if you're going into a cold country, you don't need as much ice as you would normally, but
True.
more ice is always better, right? You want to keep it in a zip bag, right? Pretty good, pretty clean. The carrier needs to be some old white guy, right? With a lot of charisma. Someone who's, he goes around, he jokes God, he's not very suspicious, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot of we gotta consider. Also, for our buyers, I prefer Russians, to be honest. They do business really good. They don't ask questions. They don't care about the government. The government doesn't care either. And they don't pay taxes, so your money's like you get all of it.
You could probably get into some good
That's a pretty good
Russian
deal.
hospitals that can hook you up.
Thanks. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, move to Russia.
You know, because no, I'm not going there. I'm gonna go.
That guy scares me. Hello.
Jake, how's it going there, kiddo?
It's going pretty good, man. How are you?
Mm-hmm. You know, I can't complain. So far, so good.
It's a pretty nice Joker you're doing enemies.
there. Sometimes it just comes naturally.
How long have you been
camera?
Yeah, that's just
Hello,
pointed
people.
at me. That's just pointed at me. Don't worry
Are you
about that.
live streaming right now? No, hang on. It's
No,
gonna make
I'm
my
not.
eyeball to be really creepy.
I'm not. I do a
Watching.
podcast where I talk to people about life and stuff.
I do like to listen to podcasts because I'm old, you see. That's what I do. That's what
Do you
my
wanna-
generation does.
Do you want to be on a podcast where we talk about life?
About about life. Okay, normally I'm on a podcast talking about Batman, but yeah, you know what? I'm all for it. Let's go for it.
You're
How's
a big.
life for you. No,
No, I ask you the questions, Joker.
you know what? That's
This
true.
is the
I'm
great
used to
thing
being
for
a
you
host
is
in
you
different
can
scenarios.
you can be Joker. You don't even
are
have to
in
be
charge.
you. You don't even have to be
Yeah,
you.
it's
You
true.
can be Joker if you really wanted to.
I mean, who says I'm not? Who says
Yeah,
I'm
that's. I am so sorry, Joker. I am so sorry, man. Can't believe I have
Yeah.
Joker on my podcast right
Who
now. This
says
is
I'm
awesome.
not?
I know. Oh God, now Joker's pointing a gun at me. Now I'm just scared.
Oh, it's okay. I just pull this out anytime I want to bang somebody.
Oh, it's the
Hey.
bang flag gun. I see. I
Mhm.
see. I
So,
see. You
ask
want to
away.
press
What
that?
about-
Yeah,
what
you want
about
to
suddenly-
press that button
Sure.
for more time, man?
Press that button. Come on down. Ring that bell. Ask away there, Chiefy.
Well, do you want
Should I
to?
get in front of the camera?
No, that's just a
That help?
masking thing.
No.
That's just me in the corner. Don't even worry about that.
That's me in the spotlight losing my religion.
Great song. I love that song.
Nice.
Do you want to pursue voice acting, Joker? Since you have such a iconic voice.
You know, I honestly do. Right now, primarily, all I do is fuck around online and then try to do audiobooks. You know, I audition, I do things, but for every 100 auditions, you get one like. So
Right.
let's just keep going strong and drink a lot of Red Bull.
Exactly. So it's canon that it's canon that Joker likes Red Bull. Is what you're telling me right now.
I mean, anything that's like a chemical that you shouldn't enjoy entering your body, I try to consume it because I
Gotcha.
have to get used to different poisons of the world. And the best poison out there, energy drinks.
Yes. What is your favorite what is your favorite unnatural chemical to put in your body?
Joker serum, Joker toxin, Joker juice.
Oh, that makes
Not
sense. Yeah.
to be confused with what Bill Cosby gives people, but
Right. Makes sense, man.
it'll put a smile on your face.
You said you do audiobooks. Do you have anything out there that people can look up?
Sadly, no. I'm working on one, but it's not done.
How can
Only I have a few
people
chapters in.
how can people find you to get Joker as a voice actor?
I mean, they can follow me on Discord because it's in my profile. Follow me on Discord. They can hit me up if they have any projects that they post online. More than likely, I'll see it and I'll want to audition for it.
Very nice. Well, thank you for chatting, Joker. That was crazy. I have Joker on my podcast. Wow. Hello.
How's it going, Jake?
It's going good, Paragon. How are you?
Good. What video games do you like to play? Have you played the new Oblivion Remastered yet?
I've not. I've heard about
I
Oblivion.
would
What is
strongly
Oblivion?
advise you play Oblivion Remastered. And Skyrim Super Special Edition too as well.
Oh, yeah? Gotcha. What is it about those games that you really enjoy?
The open world experience, the single player roleplay experience, because it just adds to the adventure.
You want to press this button?
Might as well. Why you don't like single player open world games?
like
'Cause
single
it really
player,
just
yeah.
depends. on who's making it. Otherwise, the world can just be really empty and just full of collectibles and shit, which is just really fucking boring. But it's usually like the ones from like Bethesda, Obsidian. Depends on which games from Obsidian, though.
True. You fuck with the Outer World?
I mean, all their new releases just suck ass. The Outer Worlds was fun, but it was still kind of like a 6 out of 10. They could have done better with it.
It couldn't keep me in. For some reason,
I mean, the story was good, but the combat, like, it was just lesser than Fallout, even though it was literally the exact same combat as Fallout. So
yeah, it's like a copy
and I feel like
paste kind
the
of a deal.
open world spaces could have been bigger too. They could have added more enemy variety as well, and more weapon variety. It needed more time in the oven, is all.
If there's one game that you could only play for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Probably the Fallout, just the Fallout series in general, because there was the Tale of Two Wastelands with Fallout 3 New Vegas, and then you combine them with the mod. Oh, there's just so much content, and then there's people that are just making like open world, no, the people are making like full-on like map skill mods, like Fallout Hawaii and Fallout Frontier and Fallout Chicago. The Fallout Mexico got canceled, but there's just so much good content that'll just keep you going for like a month or two. Because it took me like, I think it was like 1,000 or like 800 something hours to play Tale of Two Wastelands from beginning to end with all its DLC.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Nice.
And it's like heavily moddable.
Yeah, it's like endless possibilities, really. You can always
Exactly,
You can always add to it.
But I didn't because it was just so fucking long already. So I mean, I put the Frontier in it, but I'm waiting for Fallout Hawaii. So it was Tale of Three Wastelands.
Gotcha. Well, enjoy your open world stuff. Oh, hello. It's you again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
left and like enjoy.
Yeah, I had to leave and then come back. I got crashed.
Type shit.
Yeah, that shit sucked. That shit sucked.
Yeah.
I forget exactly what we talked about, but I had a question for you, and that question was, where do you think we go when we die? What do you think happens when we die?
I wouldn't like, take religious beliefs into it, but like, it's like a theory, to be honest. Like, I'll think about it to like, kind of believe it, but it's a theory at this point. Like, sometimes people believe that are we going nowhere, and then at the same time we go to heaven, or like
Well, what do you believe?
What I believe, I believe there's such thing as heaven and hell, and I believe that if we did nothing but good deed, heaven, and if you're an evil bastard, hell. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
But
how? Like, what is the threshold to be good to get into heaven for you? And then, do you want to press this button to elaborate?
Yeah, I got you. What I elaborate, for being good and only way to get into heaven is that's always kind of hard. I believe that having religious beliefs, because what they like say, like you gotta push it, you gotta be religious, you gotta be a Christian, Orthodox, all that. I believe like even if you do that, God, the Bible says that some people who even believes in God go to hell because some things that they did in their life, and some people who didn't even know God exists will go into heaven. So I feel like having hope, faith, and being a good deed of a person will get you out of there. And I feel like only way you can go to heaven is I mean hell, my bad. Only way you can go to hell is like if you didn't go beside Jesus' words. God's words, my man.
Do you think you're going to heaven?
I can't quite answer that question because I may say I'm not quite doing everything that God says, I mean, I'm like not like a sensitive person, you know. I'm like a young person, you know, commit to different things I shouldn't be doing. But I I can't believe that, you know, heaven may have a spot for me, including hell. And I'm not gonna choose like if I go to heaven, but like, you know, I kind of believe I can go to heaven.
Yeah.
If you know, like I pick my place. I believe that, you know. To
Yeah, do
like
what you
be in
can.
a spotlight of God. Yeah. Do you believe that too?
Yeah, in a way. You know,
Gotcha.
I think our consciousness stays with our body and our soul goes on, and wherever it goes is wherever it goes. But man, I hope I get to see you in heaven. Freaky death.
Sorry, shit. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Your status
Full body?
says that you want a raccoon.
Raccoon. Who doesn't want a raccoon? They're so stinking cute with their human-like paws.
No,
How could I say no?
that's true. Are you in a place in the world where it's legal for you to get a raccoon, or do you just not care? And
No. I'm
You
gonna
could
be one of
even-
those not care people. And
you
I'm
could
gonna
even,
hide a
like-
raccoon in my apartment.
yeah, I mean, well, you don't even have to do that. Just like befriend a raccoon out in the wild, and then
Right.
let him just hang out, and he can go off on his own. And if he wants to stay with you, then he gets to stay with you, and do that.
I live in a decent city, so we don't really have any raccoons.
Oh yeah.
But if I find one, I'm gonna befriend him. He's gonna be
you gotta
my
do every,
friend.
you gotta do everything in your power.
I'm gonna literally stock because I have this cat food and I don't
press
have
this
a
button.
cat. Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna start leaving that outside. I don't get a raccoon, at least I'll get a cat.
What would you name? What would you name your raccoon?
Rocket. It has to be Rocket.
That's fair.
If I got another raccoon, I'd probably come up with something, adventurous. But the first one has to be Rocket. Just
Yeah,
create a
that
whole
makes
zoo at
sense.
that point, How could I say no?
There's someone in my family who had a raccoon for a little bit, and he named it Kitty.
I mean, they do act like cats, but they also act like dogs. More so towards cats with their need to get into everything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a state that lets me
I like
have
when,
one, and then I'm moving there.
I like when you give raccoons like cotton candy, and then they put it in water, and they get so
They're
confused.
so confused.
And then they you can see the pain in their face when they're like, what just happened?
It's like, where'd my food go?
Yeah. It's sad, but it's very cute.
I'm sure they get treats after that. Just the initial shock is
Yeah, sure.
hilarious.
Of course, yeah. They should get treats.
If they don't, the person who did that to them should be abolished.
Should
He should
die.
not be let to have a raccoon. Exactly.
Yeah.
Raccoons are
Agree.
just so domesticated ones are so nice. Other raccoons, I'm afraid they'd like.
Can you
trade my
domesticate a raccoon?
Well,
I feel like
I'm
they
sure,
kind of just
like,
do their own
we
thing. Oh, you lagged out. What'd you say?
We've domesticated dogs. We've domesticated cats. I mean, it's only a matter of time before we're domesticating other animals. Without that, I'm sure they're gonna disappear, though. With the pace this world's going.
Yeah, you kind of need to preserve them
Yeah.
a little bit. They're scavengers,
And I mean, even the places that are saying they're preserving are zoos, and they're horrible most of the time.
Start your own sanctuary for raccoons.
Oh, I will.
The raccoon lady. Hello.
Hey there. How you
What's going
doing?
on? I asked you first.
Oh, nothing much. Nothing much.
Hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out, trying to find some new people. Just lonely. All my friends are kind of just doing their own thing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, man.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a deep question?
Sure, man. What's up?
What do you think happens when we die, or after we die?
I'd say it depends on the belief. For me,
What
I
is your-
believe
what is- yeah,
we
what is
have
your belief?
eternal life. Yeah, I believe we will have eternal life with God.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to heaven?
Yeah. I mean, I've been trying my best to at least repent and do all this stuff and pray to God. I pray every day, and try
Yeah.
to get closer to God. Yeah. How about you, man? What do you think?
I think that we go back to the title screen.
Back to the title screen.
Like the "you died" message comes up like in Minecraft, and then you
Yep.
get.
And then back to title screen.
But it's a hardcore one, so it's like delete world forever and go back to title screen.
Yep.
Or spectate world and then go back to title screen.
Or
You can
just
choose to be.
yeah,
You can choose to be a
spectator
ghost.
mode.
That's why there's ghosts.
Yep, you could choose to be a ghost.
Well,
Yep.
if that's not the case,
Yep.
I hope I see you in heaven, man. I hope that.
Yep,
is
me
the
too,
case.
brother.
Yo, what's poppin'?
Nothing much, Jaden S. How are ya?
Why did you say it like that? Jake phobia?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it in
Yeah.
a way that you didn't like. I was just saying Jaden.
Yeah, bro.
I'm sorry.
Is it because I'm orange?
No, I don't have your avatar on, actually. I'm sorry.
Oh
You're,
shit.
you're a little robot.
Yeah, beep boop. I'm actually from a cringe-ass game, so...
What makes it cringe? What game is it? Alright, now I have to show your
It's
avatar.
it's a MOBA.
Do you like the game?
Yeah.
Well, then who cares if it's cringe or not?
Me, bro.
Why?
I do. I just do.
You just say it like it's a bad thing.
I mean, it's League of Legends, bro. It's pretty
Oh, okay,
cringe.
yeah, that's pretty cringe, yeah.
There we go. See,
I'm just
glad
messing with you.
Yeah. No, I'm fucking around as well.
wanna
This
press that
world
button?
has some fucking weird. Yeah. Nah, this world has some fucking weird people in it. Oh shit. Yeah, that's just not working. Oh, never mind.
Oh, sweet.
No, I've been full transparency. I've been in VRChat for like. I joined like 3 days ago, right? This
Oh, really?
world has shown me the weirdest shit in the last like 3 hours.
Then
like
my
entire 4 days.
I do a podcast where I talk to people about like life and shit. Do you want to be on that podcast?
I mean, it
stem
depends on how deep you're
stem
gonna get.
away from the norm. It doesn't have to be deep at all, but stem away from the weird fucking people and just talk about real shit.
Yeah, I mean that sounds better than watching furries fucking.
Do you mind if I invite you to another world?
Yeah, it's fun, dude.
Sweet. Thank you for joining me, man.
Yeah.
You want to stand right there?
Stand away. Like, directly under this thing.
No, that don't. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Oh.
That's fine.
Oh, I just. I don't know, man.
You're new to VRChat. You said you joined 2
Yes.
days ago.
2, 3, roughly. Yeah.
I know you said your first impressions are not good, but how do you feel about VRChat so far?
I think it's a weird experience. Is what I can say just straight up. Like, it's like I've seen some of the weirdest shit I have ever seen in the last like 72 hours of my life, right? But I've also weirdly like met some of who seem to be, right? Obviously I don't know them properly, but like, you know, people on here can be fucking chill. Like,
Yeah.
It's nice sort of meeting people with similar interests, similar vibes, that kind of shit, you know.
That's exactly what I was gonna say to you. Is like, especially in a world like No Time to Talk, like you meet such weird people, you know, and like people trying to be funny or troll, but then sometimes you meet people that are gonna be pretty chill, and like you get a good conversation out of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a good place to join when you're like trying to meet new friends in VRChat, and then like later on you join them somewhere else, and then you know you just build that friend group with them. But yeah,
of course.
I've been around the block.
It's weird because.
Oh no, sorry. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, please.
No, I was gonna say it's weird. I joined this game with like real shit for like a second. I joined this game to like, I guess like help with social shit, right? I feel like a lot of people do that. Like they come on here, it's like, okay, it's a socializing game, right? And it's like, it's weird because first day, I refused to go on any instances, like public. I refused to like go on any games. And it was like, I got invited to this small little instance with one of my good friends and a few of his friends. And now I'm just like throwing myself out there.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, I don't know, VR kind of like lessens the like barrier, right? To like, just inserting yourself into conversations. Like I find it so easy to just go over to people, just, you know, say hello, say some random shit. Yeah. It's easy to just start yapping. I guess that's why that world was so good. It's just like, I guess you put two random people in a room together. It's one of them's gonna start talking, right?
It forces you to have a conversation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Way out of my comfort zone, but.
And it's a good like it's a good what's the word, like practice to be socializing. So then at some point you can I like to see it as like, use it to practice your social skills so that when you go and meet people in person, you can. It's obviously it's not going to be the same at all. Of
course, yeah.
But just to build, you know, your practice for like small talk, like in No Time to Talk. No Time to Talk is all about small talk. You know.
Yeah.
So you're in a good spot, you know, to learn that stuff. Sure.
It's weird. I mean, I suppose part of my motivation for coming on here, right, was like, you know, I saw videos online. I wanted to fuck around a bit, right? But then as I've started playing a bit more, sort of, you know, talking to people, it's.
Did you see proximity chat?
I don't want to be that dickhead, you know. Like.
Did you see proximity chat videos? Where they like fuck
bro, I saw proximity chat, I saw fucking Rat Grave, I saw like I was watching
I think it's funny.
I think it is. I think Rat Grave is
because it's like they're kind of messing with the people that are just way too deep in this game. They're the people who just fell way too deep in the rabbit hole and can't get out.
My second day here, I was a VR fishing. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, that place is cool.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
But there are VR families. This is like people just adopt. Like that's a thing. It's
I know.
Odd. It's so odd. There are like 14-year-olds saying that they're like parents of like 12-year-olds. It's you shouldn't even be on this game.
Yeah.
There are so many odd people, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, yeah, it's I don't know.
You said you met. Weird you said you had friends invite you. Like you already had friends that play VRChat.
So I didn't know this until I got a message from like one of my friends being like, "Hey, you play VRChat?" And I was like, "I've been playing for like a day. I
at this point I'd spend like an hour on the game, maybe max. I was just hopping in and out of random worlds, and I think I spent maybe 3 hours sitting down chatting with like them and their friends in VR. And then I went on to join some random public instance, and before I knew it, 6 hours had gone. I need to moderate my time on this game.
It's easy. It's easy to let time fly.
It's so easy, yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, no, it's I suppose I had that one friend that messaged me, but no one else I really like know plays it. I've been like documenting my adventures to them, being like, "Hey, I got invited to a VRChat cult today. What did you do?" Like,
and it's just filled with edgy people that hate their lives, pretty much.
Yeah, it's weird seeing how people like trauma dump in like public instances. There's like people just talking about like the worst things ever, and then you 3 seconds later are like fucking around with some random like guy. It's weird. You can still hear that conversation where someone's talking about the fact that like, you know, like their parents hate them or some shit, and you're over here like laughing it up with like some random person.
Yeah, pretending to be this like weird fucking avatar. Like that one avatar that's like just a job application, and then they go up to those people that are like trauma dumping.
I've never seen that, but that sounds great.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, how like I'm a massive fucking robot. Like, I don't know.
I'm just a robot. You and I are robots, and we can choose to be that in VRChat, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. The amount of people I've had assume that I'm like 8 years old, or like just the wildest assumptions based on Avatar is crazy. I can speak and they'll still think I'm 8 years old. It's like, what? I don't know.
And you have like
I thought about changing Avatar a few times.
You lack it's like a big Instagram comments section, you know? Like people just, what I mean by that is like people just say whatever the fuck they want, where if they were in person, there's no way they'd be saying what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
People treat it a lot like that. You have a physical barrier, you know, that's just, you know, saving you from being like decked out, pretty much.
I mean, I think in like the last few hours of VRChat, I've had the N-word said to me a double-digit number of times.
Yeah,
I'm white. Right. I don't know why. Like,
yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, yeah, I'm like the most like white British dude. It's like crazy for like, it's crazy. It's a weird disconnect because it's like I still haven't properly gotten used to like the fact that, you know, I'm in VR. I'm a big fucking robot. So like when I hear people like say shit like that, it's like, no, I'm not. What the fuck do you mean?
And they probably haven't even heard you speak. They just are like, you're just some robot, so you're probably some kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've had people block me instantly. I thought about changing my avatar, but I think it's like an act of defiance now to like.
Well, this is the great thing.
Avatar.
This is the great thing is like, if you want to find real people in this game and just find real people in general, they're not gonna block you right away. They're not gonna block you just because of the avatar you have. They're gonna chat with you and then decide from there. And as far as I can tell, you seem like a real dude. Like you seem like a good guy.
I like to think so. I mean, I'm alive.
Yeah, you're living, you're breathing, you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you mind if I ask, like, what are you doing outside of VRChat? Like, you know, what's life outside of VRChat for you? And if you don't want to get into that, I know this is like a podcast and it's going out to the internet, so bear that in mind. Obviously, if you don't want that information shared, please.
No, I mean,
you are not inclined to answer anything. But yeah, like, what is life outside of VRChat like for you?
Well, I'm a uni student. I'm studying towards a degree at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a weird state of employed and unemployed. It's like a weird situation.
Uni students are like that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they want to hire you, but then they're like scared you're gonna not show up to shifts, so they give you like 10 hours. It's like how am I gonna cover my rent? You know, like how do you expect me to do that? You know, I like to think that I don't know, stuff outside of VRChat is pretty good.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people use this as like, you know, like I guess escape from like major problems, right? That's why you see so many people trauma dumping in public lobbies. But
yeah,
I don't know. I kind of just come here. I go and fish when I want to have a little bit of relaxing time. If I want to go and be a little dickhead for an hour, I'll like, you know, I'll go and be a dickhead for an hour, you know. But
that's the great thing about this game is like you can choose to do that. People can choose to drama dump and pretend to have fucking families, or you can make fun of those families and go fishing and be a robot, and everyone can choose to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's good that people have the freedoms, but it is, I will say, is incredibly worrying the amount of developing people there are on this platform who are going to be so severely impacted. In like, I met this guy earlier. He said he was 14. He had been on VRChat for like 6 years. That's half of your life.
Yeah, I can't even imagine, man.
It's insane. I don't get it. But
what are you studying in university for?
I'm studying. Okay, people have their reservations, right? But I'm studying a social sciences degree. People say it doesn't have application or whatever. I just want to go into teaching. That's my end goal, right? So I love the discipline. I love the topics.
What is social science?
I suppose it's different depending on who you ask. It's one of those really open-ended things.
Well, what is it for you?
For me, I study, or what I aim to when I go into postgrad and such. For me, it's, I guess, people's identities. What makes, you know, like labeling and what makes someone who they are and stuff like that. That kind of stuff interests me.
So being in VRChat's like prime research for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's. I guess that's part of the reason
why you're here, Jaden.
Come on every day. maybe. But I don't know. It's interesting to me. It's interesting. Like, I guess looking at it from a sociological view, why I am getting the things I am hurled at me because I'm a big robot in a world of weird anime avatars, you know?
That's a big reason why I do this podcast, is because, like, you know, there are other podcasts that do a similar thing, and I've just gained a lot of inspiration from it. And like, you hear something somebody says and you never would have thought that. Like, you listen to conversations and you never would have thought that way because of it. And it's a similar thing, you know, you're just learning from other people's lives. So,
like, 100%,
and then you come on VRChat and it's the same exact thing, you know, when you really meet people. I like that.
Yeah. I guess I guess part of, I didn't really think about it like that. I suppose that does kind of drive me a bit to sort of explore and look around. But
it's like philosophical. It's like why people do what they do.
Exactly. I guess there is a philosophical element to it. It's, I don't know. I guess every time I learn something a bit more about this I wouldn't say it shocks me because I've seen insane stuff now. Like I know what to expect, right?
When you say insane stuff, do you mean in VRChat or just in general?
VRChat specifically,
Yeah.
but I guess
And in
general,
3
yeah,
days, that's crazy.
I've seen VR families. I've seen furries going at it in a public instance. I've seen e-daters. I've seen, unfortunately, just straight up people admitting that they're into children. It's...
Why do you think people on VRChat do these kinds of things?
It's anonymity, isn't it? Like, you have...
It's what?
It's anonymity. You hide behind, a username, an avatar. You suddenly feel like you can kind of do whatever. I think everyone sort of like... Everyone has their like... Okay, maybe not everyone, but like... A lot of people have their like... like they have urges to like do dumb shit, right? But like in the real world, you do dumb shit, you get told you're doing a dumb shit, right?
Yeah,
and then
you go through the consequences.
Yeah,
there are less consequences in VRChat.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's this post I always think about. It's something to the effect of like, before the internet, right? If you said you wanted to, fuck a toaster, you would be called stupid by all your friends. You would, at a push, you would do it like once. You would realize this is stupid, and then you would move on. Now that the internet's around, you can find a community of like 200 people who want to fuck toasters, and
they accept it.
Now you're like, you're validated. You're participating in this dangerous activity, right? So I guess it's like there's an element of that. It's, you see all of this stuff happening, you're like, I want to take part in that. You're getting validated in doing that. You might have the occasional person who comes in and says, hey, you guys are stupid, you guys are doing dumb stuff. But like, you can just block them. You can just move on. You can continue doing dumb shit, right? So I don't know, I think it's just anonymity. Like, most people, they won't use their real names, they won't,
right,
they won't put their face up anywhere, they won't do XYZ. So they can just sort of do whatever. Went on a little bit of a tangent there, but
oh, please, tangent away. No, that is what this is for. 100%. Yeah, it's all fucking crazy. I'm in a similar boat that you are in terms of like the genuineness of people, like going and finding people that treat this just as a way to talk about whatever. Treat this as a way to like talk about just life, and like use it as a platform to like hang out. And that's it.
Exactly.
It's a social space. And some people use it to, be in a community where people fuck toasters. And I mean, more power to them, I guess, I
mean, I haven't seen that in VRChat yet, but I won't be surprised.
I'm sure you will.
I'm very sure I will.
You will. You should go around asking people if they fuck, like, you should go to, like, furries and ask them if they fuck toasters.
No, because there's like a whole thing of like, there's like a certain furry that's a toaster, right? Like, that's a thing, apparently. I've heard this in passing, so I could be wrong. I just heard a furry calling one of their friends a toaster, but I don't know, niche internet
I wouldn't
stuff,
put it past
I suppose.
them. I wouldn't put it past you.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's out there, yeah.
Yes, it's probably out there.
Yeah.
But,
so with your studies in like when you want to be social science, like you want to study in social science, that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be a teacher. What's like your Not necessarily like end result, but like where do you want to be with that? Like where do you want to go with that? Like is it more like you want to be a teacher in like university, or like is it more like up in the air?
I suppose the end goal is university lecturing, right? It's being able to teach people something that I'm like passionate about is something that sort of appeals to me. I've always sort of known I wanted to go into teaching. I've always had a thing for teaching, so it sort of just seemed like a natural progression when I got interested in social sciences and social studies that I wanted to progress onto that. Yeah. I suppose it's not concrete. I could, some point down the line, I could decide maybe I want to just go into research. That's all I want to do, right?
You could, I mean, I'm just a guy on the internet, so like it doesn't really matter what I say, but like you could, if you really wanted to, especially if you like more like one-on-one, you could do more like social worker stuff, where you're helping people through things,
Yeah, of course. I went, I was considering that path, but I suppose part of what's I don't think I would want to. This might sound like me being a dickhead, right? But
that's right.
I don't want to deal with people's problems. Like it just seems like you
don't want to be a therapist for people,
right? I suppose if you go into teaching, you're gonna have to deal with like students who have their troubles and such. But
sure, but that's like kind of a side thing.
Yeah, it's a different thing entirely.
You can still guide them to help them, and in and of that, that's still teaching them. You're still teaching them how to get through it all, I guess, right? It's all about perspective.
Yeah, of course.
That makes sense.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess part of the motivation to go down the teaching route as well was like I've seen some terrible like educators, right? These are people that should not be put in positions where they teach. It's like they're the worst suited for the job. So I guess part of it's also I guess it's just doing better than like what I've seen. I don't want like I don't know how to properly explain it, but
well, no, you want to like you want to do the best you can for people. Like you want to do you genuinely want to teach people in the proper way and have the passion for it. And you're seeing people that don't really have, I guess not necessarily the passion for it, but they're just really shitty in the way they go about it.
Yeah, it's people who, maybe are only in it for a paycheck, which I don't know why you would be in teaching for a paycheck.
It's like, how do you go down that route?
They get underpaid, but there's it's like people who like seem to hate children for some reason. Why are you in a profession where you're dealing with like kids, teens, young adults all the time, right? It's odd to me. It's just so odd.
It could be one of those things where like that's not their end goal. Like they're doing it because they like to teach, but they don't like to teach
it could
kids.
Be,
Like they want to be a professor. But then I feel like, I mean, I don't know how that works at all. But I don't know if it's like a rise through the ranks to get noticed kind of a thing. But I feel like you can go from university and immediately be a professor. But that could just not be the case at all,
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on field and I guess it depends on like field and like content and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
I'm sure there are some
fields
where you could leave. Yeah, there are some fields where you could leave uni, you could immediately go into lecturing. You never have to deal with anyone under the age of 18, because for some reason you have like a hatred towards them, right? But
right.
To my knowledge, I could be completely wrong, I could be stupid, but you can go directly into college. For Brits, that's ages 16, 17, and then 18 plus is university. But you can go straight into college. You just have to be like working towards your like post-grad stuff. Otherwise you kind of just you need to take your teacher qualification, go down, deal with the children.
Right.
As far as I know, you can't get into like university lecturing without, you know, being established in your field, whether that's publishing a few papers, being sort of known-ish. You know, everyone on my fairly academic course who's teaching people has like years upon years of research. So it's just, yeah, I guess there's tons of variables, but
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'd probably go straight to college though. I wouldn't want to. I don't want to deal with children, truthfully.
Well, here's the thing: is you might have to.
I'm going into research then. No, it's I don't know.
Well, I'd say I'm kind of speaking out my rear end. You know, I don't actually know, but I mean, you know, if it doesn't work out and you can't immediately go to like a professor kind of like be a professor, I guess, like would you still be fine with teaching in like high school?
I think,
or elementary even at that point it's kind of like a daycare.
I think yeah, I think it's weird because teaching older people is so different to teaching younger people.
Yeah,
I feel like if I had to go down to, you know, teaching the younger generations, it would I suppose it wouldn't look like experience. That, don't get me wrong, it's still teaching, right? But it's a different kind of experience. I wouldn't want to be stuck in that like situation for a long time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm kind of like dedicated to get where I want to be. So
yeah,
if it doesn't work out, fuck if I know. I'll cross that bridge when I get there, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly the outlook you should have. Is just like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and then you're on to the next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's a healthy mindset.
So yeah, it's always good to have like backup plans in case your stuff doesn't work out. But
I was about to ask, do you have a backup plan? But you're like going with the flow.
I mean, bricklaying. I'll go and lay bricks for a living.
Masonry.
No, in all seriousness, I've sort of like, where I've been studying, I've been working in food industry for like 2 years-ish now, right? It's not glamorous, it's not what I want to do, but if it was if I had to, you know, work full-time while I, you know, figured shit out, then it's not something I'm gonna like scoff at. I'm not one of these people that's like gonna be like, ugh,
yeah,
working in a restaurant, that's gross, you know, put the fries in the bag, brother. Like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I have a few things, but it's not something that I want to put too much thought into, because it's more of it's a backup plan ultimately, right?
Yeah.
It's something I've sort of looked into, filed it away in the back of my head in case this doesn't work out.
Yeah, for sure. I have one more question for you. This is kind of the this is the question I've been going around asking people for the podcast. So if this kind of stems to like a deeper question. So if you don't want to answer this, you don't have to. But this has just been the question I've been asking people. But
that's fun.
What do you think happens after we die?
That's tough. I don't think I've fully subscribed to any kind of ideology on it, I suppose. You've got so many different, like, interpretations of what happens, right? You've got the not prevailing, because obviously there's plenty of religion still out there, but you've got the more sort of popular modern view of, oh, I think it's just black and nothing happens.
Yeah.
That's incredibly fucking depressing. Like, I don't want that
And
to
it's
happen,
not even
you know?
like necessarily depressing, but it's more like factual. Not even factual, but it's like you just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's an uncertainty, and I guess that's why people, you know, sort of bug out over it. They turn to religion, they turn to spirituality,
They want
turn
to have meaning in the unknown.
You want to have something, right? I've done my exploration. I had like a 6-month phase where I was like, oh, I might be a Christian. I had a like longer phase of being generally into spirituality and believing in, you know, all sorts of different things. I had a period that's kind of ongoing. It's kind of on and off where, like, you know, I subscribe to more like new age, not new age, that's the wrong term, but like pagan revivals of like old-timey religions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen so many different interpretations on it. I don't think I could give a solid answer because I don't know where I'm at, right?
And no one can.
That's
no
the thing.
one
you
has a
can't-
solid answer. There is no such thing as that.
Yeah. You can be the most hardcore Christian, and there will still be doubt there because you don't know. It's,
Yeah.
you know, there's people who have come back from, like, you know, being pronounced dead, and they've all just shilled for their respective, like, you know, belief systems. You have Christians who come back and they're like, oh, I saw the gates of heaven. You have atheists that come back and they go, brother, I was dead. Like, there was nothing.
And at the end, they all just had like a radical DMT trip since their body released all the DMT. They were
It's
dying.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I don't have an answer. Like, it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's tough.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah.
Jaden, it was really nice talking to you, man. I appreciate you coming
Yeah.
by and chatting with me.
Been a lovely chat.
It's a
nice change.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say before we depart?
What are some wise words I can end on?
It doesn't have to be wise.
It sounds
You can
okay.
do whatever you
It's
want.
ironic. It's ironic saying
you could
this
say
while
my
on
you could say my
VR,
last
right?
words are and then leave, and that would be fine.
It's ironic saying this with like a big phone strapped to my head, right? But like, the older generations are right. It's the phone. Like the phone, you know, the phone's fucking everything. It's a bit of a bleak outlook, but like, look at short form
I agree
content.
with you.
Look at children running around unsupervised. Look at anything that happened. You have cat videos next to beheadings happening in third world countries. That's not normal. Your
Right.
brain can't handle that. It's the phone.
I agree.
Those are my final words.
Get off the fucking phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Don't
sleep,
stop listening
probably.
to the podcast, but like, get off the phone, man.
Yeah. Alright, it's been lovely chatting.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jaden. Hello.
Going on, Jake?
Nothing much, Bloom. How are ya?
Doing pretty good. Hold on. Before we continue, gotta Oh, okay. I had to take that shot. What's up, man?
Oh hell yeah!
I was
I
we
just
were
took a
actually.
shot of whiskey.
Oh, nice, dude. I'm drinking
I have
sake.
Zin in my lip as well.
What kind of whiskey you drink? I like Jack personally, but you know.
I have a whiskey. It's a corn rye whiskey. It's Redemption.
Redemption. I might have heard something like that. I have a
It's
friend
like
that
a
lives in Kentucky.
it's like
I
a
think he told me about
$40
Okay.
per bottle, or it's like 750 milliliters or whatever.
Yeah.
And
It's good stuff.
yeah, it's on the cheaper side for whiskey, but you know it does the job.
Yeah. I don't think I've had a corn rye one though. That sounds interesting.
Smoother. It's a little smoother.
How you doing, brother?
Good
Just
man.
chilling?
Good man.
Yeah.
I do. Wait, how old are you, Blown?
How old are you?
I'm 24. I turned 24 in a week.
Oh, happy birthday, brother.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me your age.
25.
Oh, word.
I'm 25. Yeah.
You want to press that button?
Sure, bro. Mind.
The thing I've been asking people, Blum, is
What's up? Talk to me.
where do you think we go when we die?
I would say I have a few different ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of them, I'm not gonna go in any particular order, but one of them is like that this is probably not our first life, and so we've died and like forget this conscious, and then we just move on to another life form. Probably. The other one is probably just how you're sleeping, which is like you're unconscious. You don't think at all. You're probably just dead. Like you just, that's it. It's the end. There's nothing more to it.
Oh, okay. At first I thought you meant like when you're sleeping, it's the same as if you're dead.
It's like an almost like when you're sleeping, it's basically like on the line of death.
Well, what do you think? What
What
do you think was happening before you were born? Like where was you before you were born?
Well, that's I think like I'm not big into like souls or anything, but I would say in a hippie kind of way of thinking, your consciousness is just kind of floating in existence, and you just so happen to like be in that body when it's born.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that like too
like everything
freaky?
about you stays here, and then whatever is left moves on, and then
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
So
I 100%
it's like
agree with you.
it's like a freaky thing because everyone, no matter what, like let's say you're born in an environment, you're kind of built up into that environment to act a certain way, but some people, regardless of the environment, still develop a personality that's unique to them, and so like that's just part of your soul or something.
That's just part of your soul or something. I agree. Hello.
Oh shit, man, you being a real ass nigga.
Where do we go when we die, Jack?
I believe in heaven. Everyone believes in something different. Now, I'm not gonna go back and forth with somebody about it. You know, I can not argue with them, but have a conversation about it. But if you believe in going
I'm not
to
here to
nowhere,
argue.
if you believe in pure darkness, I know. But me personally, I believe in heaven, though.
Yeah. It's comforting. It's a nice thought.
Yeah.
It's a nice belief.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You
I
think
don't
you're
just
going to
believe
heaven?
in it because I was raised by it. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say I know I'm going to heaven. I ain't gonna be cocky about it, but I think I'll go to heaven though.
Yeah.
I've asked the Lord to forgive me. I don't do wrong all the time. I'ma still do wrong here and there, but I still try. For me, I'm trying to stop cussing as much. For me, I'm doing little to do big.
Well, yeah, it's many little steps to get to the big. goal.
Yeah. Right now, every time I cuss, I slap myself in the hand. I'm trying to use blood narc instead of saying cuss words. You can't tell me blood narc don't go with everything. Like, you stupid blood narc. Shut up, blood narc.
That works.
Come on, you can't. Exactly.
You can call someone like a fucking dingleberry, you know?
I'm saying, shut up, dingleberry.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut
You know,
up,
one of my
boy.
favorite non-curse words is butt chicken. I like that one. You know.
I mean,
I hope I see you in heaven, good sir.
I hope I see you too, man.
Hello.
Jake Phobia, how are we doing?
We're doing pretty good. Dazed monkey.
I don't know. Oh, okay, you're Spider-Man. Okay, I'm retarded as shit. My fault.
You're fine, man. It's all good.
Shit, what's the good word?
Good word. I've been going around asking people this question, not like in a pessimistic way, but just in a, just to stir the pot. But where do you think we go when we die?
It's funny you say that. I actually kind of think about this a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I want to believe, this is my belief. I believe in reincarnation, and I feel like after a certain point, you move on to either heaven or hell, depending on how you did overall in your lives. That's my belief.
How many lives do you think we have?
I don't know. I think it depends on after you get like enough life experience, like you move on to, whatever.
So like a
comes
zen.
next, like yeah, until you can see like the best of the best and the worst of the worst. So if you have like, rags to riches story, then maybe you only get one life. But if you go,
You want to press that button?
Yes, sir. I am willing to press that button.
Fuck yeah.
But I feel like I don't know. Like I don't have like one certain belief. It kind of changes. Like I don't know. Like I work alone most of the time, like at my job. So I listen to podcasts and I like just kind of think,
Word.
And
it's funny you say that. I actually do a podcast where I talk to people about life. Funny
Oh,
you
really?
say that. Yeah. Do you want to be
What's
on
the
that
podcast?
podcast?
I'd be down as long as there's like no like public information about who I am. If I can remain anonymous.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
do you have,
usually I like
Discord or something.
Usually I like invite people to a world and we just chat for like 15 minutes and then come back here.
Oh shit!
Is that fine with you?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right, word.
Cool. Here, I'll send you a friend request.
Sweet. Thank you, sir.
Sir, you
I
just
know,
sent
if
me
I
that
can,
world invite and,
I know if I can drop a portal quick enough, we can just go.
Oh yeah, sure, I'm down.
All right, word. Well, thank you for joining me here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, not a problem.
For the sake of the podcast, what would you like to go by?
You can call me Dazed.
Dazed? All right. All right, cool. Yeah. So, of course, the question was, where do we go when we die? And you said you believe in reincarnation in a certain set amount of lives before you can proceed to like heaven or hell.
Yes, sir. Like I mentioned before, but just for the sake of the podcast, my idea, like as of recent, I suppose, is after like a set amount of lives or like life experiences, I believe that you move on to like a higher plane of existence, either heaven or hell or maybe something totally different. I'm not really sure, but I feel like after you've seen like the best of the best and the worst of the worst that the world has to offer, and after God or whatever higher deity you believe in kind of sees who you really are or sees what you stand for, I feel like after that point kind of called back home and you move on to whatever comes next.
Yeah. Part of me almost thinks like if it's a stream of like consciousness, like if there's other worlds, with life and whatever the equivalent is to like us, maybe our lives go to like those worlds as well and experience the whatever there is there. It's not just bound to us. But I like that because it's like you're kind of rising through the tears of it all. I like that a lot.
Yeah, thank you, man. I mean, I don't know, like, my idea kind of changes from time to time, There's obviously good and bad in the world, and it's kind of hard to make one decision as to what happens after your life, because obviously you don't really have any, basis for it. I mean...
Yeah.
There's people that claim that they've gone on and seen, heaven or hell, or seen God himself, or people even claim that they are, the second coming of Christ, but it's, I don't know, like, there's so many different beliefs out there that, I mean, I haven't really looked into many religions at all. I'm not, like, really religious myself. Like, I do believe in a higher being, but I don't really actively practice any religion,
Yeah. No, I don't either. Yeah, there's like tens of thousands of religions out there,
And I feel like most, if not all of them, like, have, like, something that I agree with to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, like, it's just such a wide, like, man, I can't, like, find my words.
Well, it's such like a big thing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could go on and on and on about it. Do you think you're going to, after you go through all these lives, do you think you're gonna end up in heaven?
I mean, I would hope so. I try to be the best person I can be, but, like, we all make mistakes, and, I mean, I grew up in a Christian household, so, like, I believe that Jesus did die for our sins on the cross, and, I believe in trying to help out whoever I can to whatever extent I can. So, I hope that I'm doing enough in life, or this life, if there are multiple lives, or, just this one that I have, if that's the way it is, to hopefully make it up to the pearly gates one day, but...
I know you want to remain anonymous, but can I ask, like how's life treating you right now? Is it going good?
The last few months have been extremely chaotic for me. I mean, obviously remaining... If I say this, like, if the right person hears this, they'll know who I am. But, I got out of a relationship within the last year, and that was like the first serious relationship I've ever been in. Her and I were extremely close at the start of our relationship, and it had gone on for about 2 years, and it really changed my perception of love. There was something traumatic that had happened in her life. Obviously, I'll keep her anonymous as well. And
yeah, of course.
After her and I had broken up, it just kind of made me sit back and realize where I'm at in my life. It kind of changed my priorities, obviously. But after that situation had ended, her and I had originally agreed to try and stay in contact with each other in hopes to maybe rekindle our relationship someday. But after about 2 weeks, my mental health was just, borderline non-existent. So I kind of broke the promise that her and I had made, and I just blocked her on everything and kind of tried to forget about her. I say try to forget about her because she had tried a few times to reach back out to me by, like, sending me a friend request on one platform or another.
Yeah.
And my mental health still isn't exactly the greatest. I do feel bad for what I did. Looking back, I should have just told her where I was at, mentally and etc.
I guess I'm just some guy, on the internet, but if it helps with your closure, I mean, even if it's just for one text and you're not looking for a response, like, tell her how you feel about it all and leave it at that, and then you have your clarity and you can move on to what's next.
I would do that, but there was a series of events that unfolded during the end of her and I's relationship that made me want to separate myself from her and her family as much as possible, so I did end up changing my phone number, which I guess I could still reach back out through another platform of some sort.
Yeah.
But
I mean, obviously, it depends on how drastic it was. So yeah, if it makes more sense just to move on, then you're doing everything right. As far as I can tell.
I appreciate it, man. I mean, that means a lot to hear, honestly. But I did actually unblock her on one social media platform, and I had seen that, obviously the posts of her and I were gone off of her account. But I did see that she was out kind of traveling the world, I suppose. So I guess my main concern at the time is that her mental health was also not very good when her and I had split up. So I guess I was just trying to see if she was at least doing better in at least some degree. And honestly, I feel like I just kind of got my closure that, if she's fine going through life without me, then I guess I should also be that way.
Yeah, I mean, you as in anyone, you kind of don't really have a choice. you just move on.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, it's just, that was like the first serious relationship I ever had, and I didn't really date around much in my teenage years, but it just, I don't know, like everything went extremely well for a period of time, but then after, like I had mentioned before, a series of events, it just kind of took its toll on us, and there was another series of events that unfolded in her life, and she was the one who did the whole splitting up thing, and I was just left with the memories and a broken heart.
Yeah.
But shit happens, I suppose. That's the way it is.
Yeah. No, it really does. It really does. And you said this was like your breakup was fairly recent. It was like a couple months ago.
Within the last year, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes time to process that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, what's your next? What have you been doing afterwards? I guess to kind of better yourself.
Well, since the breakup, I moved quite far away from the state that I used to live in. So I am pretty much, I guess I am like completely out on my own. I don't really have family even mildly close to where I am now. But since then I started a new trade, new line of work. I've been living in a mobile home for a few months compared to the apartment that her and I had shared. That she hadn't officially moved in with me, but she was there more often than she wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I filed for a vacancy, packed my stuff into my truck, sold whatever I could, gave away whatever I couldn't sell. Literally just got into my truck and drove west until I found something worth stopping for, and now I'm about 1,800 miles away from where I was before and turning a new leaf.
And how long have you been living where you live now?
In my, I guess I can call it a trailer. In my trailer, I've been here for close to 4 months. I did have a camper with me, so I was living out of my camper for about a month and a half, and I was out on the road for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I had, thankfully, enough money saved up where I could afford to just kind of pack my stuff and get out. And I just spent a couple weeks just kind of, I wouldn't say like, living like a hobo, but just kind of meandering around until I found somewhere that felt like it would grant me the opportunity to start something anew.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How have things been going since you moved across the country? Or I guess a better question is what have you been doing since you moved across the country?
I've been pretty much just working my tail off, just trying to stay afloat. I'm in the oil industry, so I started at a refinery out here, so it's been a lot of long days, a lot of just at the grindstone, essentially. But it's more fulfilling than the line of work I was in previously. I had a state job with the state that I used to live in, which it wasn't bad. It's just I don't know. I got tired of a white collar job, so I figured, I'll give blue collar a try.
Yeah, for sure. That's quite the contrast.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But
in oil, working in oil, like that's like a lot of labor. Like you're probably, I would assume you're working, 12 to 14 hour shifts, maybe you're staying days,
No, yeah, we work and live. I mean, obviously we work on site. Good morning. But we do live on site, so I have my mobile home set up in like the closest, like not city, but like town-ish, I suppose. There's like about 15,000 people here. But it's 15 days on, 15 days on, 5 days off. So, I'm not really here a whole lot, but it's still nice to be able to come back to a place I can call my own. And to replace my girlfriend, I actually found a stray dog on my way out to where I'm at now. So yeah, it's been my company for the last few months. It's been grinding away.
I love that. I know I'm very stationary right now, but inside I'm like clicking my heels and doing cartwheels because finding a dog on your way out there is like, I feel like that's how you know that this shit was like meant to happen.
It's actually like, I wouldn't say it's like crazy the way it happened, but I was driving through basically like the middle of nowhere. It was like nothing but like miles of trees and then miles of like open flat plains.
Yeah.
Like pretty much like the entire state I was driving through was all wooded or open plains. And I stopped off at this truck stop, and there was like, 15 people here, and this is like some big ass lot, so it was like kind of a ghost town in there. But pulled off for the night, I'm back in my camper, and like I could hear like either wolves or coyotes, like not like off in the distance, but they were like somewhat close sounding. And then I heard like another like barking, howling sound that was like way closer, so I like crack open the shade on my camper, and like I'm looking like up at the truck stop, and there's like a dog that's like sitting like under the light at the fuel island, just like pretty much just chilling there. And it was like not like raining, but like kind of like misting out sort of, and I felt bad, so I took like I had like some ground beef in my cooler. So I took some ground beef and like threw some like kind of like gravy over it that I had, and I like put it in a dish out for the dog. And like as I'm walking up to the dog, it like came right up to me, and yeah, ever since then he or she's been mine.
He or she.
Yeah, it's I guess it's a he. I was confused for a little while, but yeah, I don't know. I'm like kind of drunk right now, so I don't really know what the fuck I'm even talking about. But,
me too. I did a shot or two of whiskey before I started doing this, so no, I'm with you. We're on the you and I dazed are on the same wavelength right now. Okay.
Well, it's kind of bad for me. It is 6 o'clock on the dot, and I'm feeling it.
Do you well, I won't keep it here much longer. I have like one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you on your 5 days off that you get, do you like have any other plans to like go off and do things?
Man, that's actually kind of a good question. I haven't really thought about it too much. I just kind of, it's gonna sound kind of depressing, but I just kind of,
that's okay,
stay off on my own, just kind of stay in my own lane, just try to fix stuff up around the place. And I have a project car that I've been working on a little bit.
Word.
Yeah. It's been keeping me busy a little bit. It's just been sitting more than I've done anything with, but yeah, just
can I ask
trying to live life, trying to.
That you've been working on?
It's a '83 Camaro.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, it's I don't know how much you know about cars, but it has a 350 small block that's been bored over to a 355. I bought it non-running, pretty much torn down to nothing but the block. I have my heads sent out, getting resurfaced, and I'm probably going to end up needing a new head on one side, and I'm getting the other side pretty much rebuilt. I'm probably going to end up putting a bigger cam into it, and probably just going to call it a day. It's fairly straight body-wise, so I'm probably not going to bother doing any body work or paint or anything. It's kind of ugly, but I mean...
Oh, who gives a care?
Yeah.
As long as it's running and it's good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something to keep me occupied, trying to, keep my mind off of things.
Well, honestly, I really like that for you. It sounds like this is, it's something that, I think it's, not just for you, but for anyone, especially like around our age, if that's all right to say.
I'm probably a little older than you think I am.
I won't ask you. I'll keep that anonymous. But no, I mean, and actually, no, I take that back. It doesn't really matter, I guess, how old you are, but, you know, when the timing is right, I feel like going off and making big changes like that are good for your soul, you know, whatever the fuck that is. I did a similar thing.
Agree.
I live in the Northeast, but I live and grew up in the Northeast, but I lived in the Rockies for a little bit, and I went through a similar thing, and you know, it was really good. It was nice to like kind of go off and kind of do my own thing.
God damn, who's... Alright, hang on. Alright, thank you, mate.
You're fine.
I don't even know who that is.
Interesting. Yeah, you'll hear it. You'll hear it at some point in this podcast. But my dad called me like halfway through talking to someone, and like the Star Wars theme came on, and I was like, "My dad's trying to call me."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna answer this one quick. Just 1 second.
Yeah, take your time, man.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, no worries.
All right, I'm back. Sorry
Welcome
about that.
back. No worries. No worries at all.
Just a guy called me and said that, really ironic timing, actually. He said that the other head surfaced out okay, but it's not holding pressure against the valve, so I might as well just fucking buy a new one. So, yeah, talk about timing.
Yeah, right? That's funny. Yeah, there you go.
Yes, sir.
My dad, I won't put this in the podcast at all, but my dad had a IROC. If you know what that is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's like a picture of him, like washing it off. Funny enough. But I love Camaros, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I have an IROC.
Is that what you have? Yeah.
Yep, 83 IROC. It's black and it's
okay. All right, maybe I will leave this in the podcast because I think that's exactly what my dad has or had.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is all black. It's got a green door on it, and it has tan trim going all the way around the bottom of it.
If I remember correctly, I think that's exactly what my dad had.
No shit.
I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but based on what I remember, seeing the pictures of his car and what he's talked about it, I think it was like pretty close. That'd be crazy if you have my dad's old IROC and it's ended up out west.
Do you remember if it was an automatic or a manual?
It was probably a manual.
Yeah, I have a manual. Mine's got a 5-speed in it. Do you remember if did it have T-tops on it? Like removable
I have no
glass
idea.
roof?
No idea.
Shoot.
Yeah, my car knowledge only goes so far.
That's okay. It's not everyone's
It's like a
forte.
different language. You know, it's like I know half of what you're saying, just enough to like understand it. And then the other
Kinda like
half,
me
I'm just
hearing
like,
someone
oh
speak
yeah,
Spanish.
yeah, exactly. But that's awesome. If I, you know, I feel like, you know, when it gets warmer out, I would, you know, take your camper and go on a little camping trip somewhere with your boy. You know, for like 2 or 3 days, you know, go off, see a little bit of nature, get out of your house.
I've been thinking about that. Like, it's been getting nice enough recently where it's not like super cold at night.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. I probably should. That'd be good, just to get away. You know.
Do that and bring like a Polaroid camera or like a disposable camera.
Oh, dude, yeah.
You know, just out on your adventures. That's the way to go, man.
That's actually a good idea. I should do that.
That's what I would do.
I should do that. Good thinking, dude.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Is there anything else you wanted to say or talk about before we depart?
It's been a pleasure being here. It's the first podcast I've ever been on. I listen to a lot of podcasts at work, so
word.
Always wanted to be on one, so yeah, little treat to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy you could join me. I really like talking to you, man. I think you're I've said this a lot. I've said this to pretty much everyone else that's been on this podcast because it's been so true, and I sound like a broken record. But you seem like you're in a good situation. I'm really happy for you, man.
I appreciate it. I'm definitely doing better now than I was before.
That's good, man.
For anyone that's listening to this, and for you as well, God works in mysterious ways as long as you trust the process.
Very true. That's very true.
You don't know you never know what's going to happen. It could be for the best or it could possibly be for the worst, but one way or another, days are going to go by, things are going to change, but the sun is still going to rise in the east and set in the west.
It's all stuff you gotta learn so that you can go to heaven.
Sir.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Dace. You have a good one, man. I hope I see you in heaven.
Too, sir. Gotta be with you.
Alright, well, that's gonna do it for this episode of Practically a Podcast. If you like what you heard, consider following on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube at JakePhobiaGuy, my Twitch at Practically a Podcast, my TikTok at Practically a Podcast, which should change at a later date. So if you're listening to this at a later date, check for JakePhobia or JakePhobiaGuy on Twitch or TikTok, and then follow me on Instagram at JakePhobia. And if you're on VRChat, make sure you join the Practically a Podcast group, so that you are more likely to get on the podcast. So, as that group grows, we'll do more events where people have a better chance of getting on the podcast. So if you have a buddy who has a good story, send them my way. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.